Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 28 of Wise Wednesdays. This is a platform I have created for my circle of genius, and we are expanding as I speak. So, welcome to those who are joining in for the first time on this platform or on YouTube or wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you very much. My name is Ruqya Khan. I'm the founder of Smiletastic, where I'm an enterprise which helps people build better relationships using conversation. So it was very obvious that when I had to expand, I thought, let's bring in some very valuable conversations. And today, I am lucky to have on board with me JUHI Yasmeen Khan. A friend of mine calls her the charity queen. To me, she's a daughter whose work is a blessing, and she's a philanthropist. She's a beautiful mom with a heart of gold. And she's just that person that when I look at her, I think giving. So over to you, Juhi. Thank you once again for being on board.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Ruqya. It's my pleasure to be here, especially on the occasion today's uncle's birthday. And this is a beautiful tribute which you have started, especially today. And I can say I'm very blessed and fortunate that you have chosen me today to speak about, and we can talk about our journey actually, and especially being a daughter. It's very important, and I know how how a loving daughter you are, and you are doing such a wonderful work for Smile, which you are spreading in the word. And especially we're talking this on today actually on the birth date of your father. So I feel myself very fortunate to connect with you today, and whatever I can spread happiness to anyone, it is my completely my blessing actually. Thank you so
Thank
much for having me.
So yes, so trust her. I was avoiding it, and she addressed the elephant in the room. Yes, it is Papa's birthday, and like I was mentioning last week, I had the option of chickening out and not doing the episodes this week as well as next week, because this week is his birthday and next week is on Wednesday is the day he had passed. So, but I was I am blessed to have these amazing friends who said, no, we will stand by you. We will not let you go weak. And so they became my strength. Julie, when I invite guests on board, I always ask them what they would like to speak on. And again, without thinking much, you said abundance in giving. So, what would you like to address first, abundance or giving?
It's both together because it is
That was,
abundance of giving.
that was a trick question.
I think it's the question itself is has an answer in it, because you always have abundance when you give something, and God gives you uh, more. It's a blessing actually. It's a blessing when Almighty put you in a position where you are in a position to give something, whether it is your time, your energy, your efforts, or anything where you make a small difference in anybody's life. That is abundance actually, basically. So giving is a very beautiful feeling. Not everybody gets that actually. But we are very like fortunate and we are very blessed that God has put us in the position that we are in a position to give something small or big, whatever it is, and we make little bit of difference in people's lives. So I feel giving is a very big blessing from Almighty, and you and me and people like us who are in a position who can give back to the society, it's a blessing, complete blessing, it's complete abundance.
Speaking of blessings, we have Vidya who says, Juhi brings tears to me, and
Oh,
she is God sent
oh,
indeed.
thank you so much, Vidya. It means a lot to me and to Rukia. You're such a beautiful thing, and she has written about you just for your father's wishes, Rukia.
Yes, yes. So lovely. Just give me a moment here. So tell me, how did you get on board with the whole journey of giving?
Okay, I can say it's a very long journey. It's not a small journey. From childhood, actually, I have seen my parents, especially
Mm,
my dad. He's a biggest influence on my life and my personality. He's my mentor, and I don't want to say that he is no more with me. He is with me every day, every moment. I feel him actually. It's very sad that when he passes, I was not with him, unfortunately. And it was so sad that unfortunately I was not able to reach in time for his last ride. So the closure was not there actually. This is one part. So when you are talking to me about giving, so that's what I'm going to talk to you about it, is that I learned a lot of things from my father. He was a very beautiful soul, and he used to think about others than himself, so this is what I learned from him. And when I lost him actually, then I thought, okay, now my journey, whatever it is, I'm going to give it to the humanity. And this is how my journey started. After I lost my dad, I found the purpose of my life.
True that. And I love how you speak when you say he is my mentor. It
Yes.
happens to me as well, because when I speak of Papa, I very rarely speak of him in past tense because, as you said, I feel him. It took me a while to get to that stage where I could still feel him. I think that that feeling of loss and emptiness was larger than that feeling of acceptance or presence, understanding that presence.
True.
But once I got to that stage is when I began to contribute, began to give in whatever little way that I do. Because I think giving is not just about giving money. Because
Nothing. No, I never. You're rightly saying that. Yes, please continue.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about giving money, it's also about sharing knowledge. It's about sharing love, giving somebody your time, sharing a smile. There's so much that you can do.
Yes. Very true. I totally believe in this actually, this concept that giving is not only about money, monetary wise, finance, or anything. It's about anything, even as you rightly said, even if you smile back and if you say somebody, like if you pass by and you see that somebody is not happy or somebody is going through a rough time or anything, if you just give them the ears to listen to them, that is also giving. I receive numbers of calls almost every day, and what least I can do to these people is to listen to their problems. When they tell me about their problems or what they're going through, whatever the problems they're facing, it gives them a little bit hope. After listening to them and everything, I mostly guided them how to solve their problems, and a lot of times, by God grace, I solve their problems actually with the help of community, with the help of other people, definitely, because it's a chain. You cannot do anything alone. So giving is a very, like, it's if you're giving them uh, guidance, where to go, how to do it, how you can seek the help, anything, or how you can even. I've got a call actually from one of the publications. They called me and they said there is one lady, and she is about to end her life or anything because she was under depression so much. So they gave me the number because, being a woman, I can understand her and she can talk to me freely, where she cannot even talk to a male member of any group or anything. So I spoke to her, and she was nearly in tears and everything, and she was like, she lost almost everything. But trust me, after talking to me, she's still alive, and she's, mashallah, like, she's surviving with a small daughter, everything. So it gives you a beautiful feeling when you even give a time, little guidance, or little, you can say, right direction to them. And this is all about giving. So giving is a very big field that way.
Absolutely. We have Payal who says listening is also giving, and
It is.
Dale who says listening is a huge skill at times. So, gratitude and abundance, absolutely. So, thank you, people who have watched in, who are tuned in and watching us live. I know there might be some glitch when it comes to the comments coming in on Facebook. So, I highly recommend that you please visit the YouTube link that is also been made available. And I think you have to subscribe to the channel so that you can interact. I'm not really sure, but do give it your best. We're airing across 3 different platforms, which is YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as on Facebook. So wherever you find it, because I'm seeing comments from Payal coming in from LinkedIn, there are comments coming in also from Facebook and also from YouTube. So yes, let's be as resilient as we can in the face of technology and its mindset, and let's keep giving. Waleed says, I understood the true meaning of giving when I started mentoring my juniors at my workplace. This
Interesting.
revelation made me take up teaching students of journalism. Hmm. So teaching is also a way of giving, right? And where you're building up somebody in terms of life skills, earning a living. What are your
True.
thoughts on that?
Definitely, teaching is a very big, I can say it is the most important thing because you're giving directions to something, whether it is anything. And it's a form of a mentoring where you are nurturing a mind and you are showing a direction to a mind which can go any direction. So teaching is, I think it's a very important part of anybody's life. If he's teaching something, he's giving his time, he's sharing his knowledge, and with his experience, anything if he's teaching, hats off to him. That's a very good, beautiful way of giving.
And about Walid, what I would also like to add is that he's somebody who's been, you have these rocks, these pillars of strength that you have as you move on with friends and friends who become family. That's my kid brother, if I may call him, and he's somebody who's always listened.
Wow.
Someone with a big heart who always listens. So yes, hats off to you, Walid, for being the person that you are, the kind of mature person that you are. Thank
Fantastic,
you.
Waleed. Keep doing it. What you're doing, we need more people like you in the society because listening is a art, actually. Not everybody can listen to the people's problem or guide you or anything. So if you're listening, if you're guiding them, hats off to you. You're doing wonderful job and we need more people like you, Waleed.
Thank you. Really tell me, sometimes we live in a we come across occasions where people give, but they don't let go of that expectation. They
Expectations of what?
expectation of either a return or even gratitude for that
Okay.
matter. So, how important is it to give without that space of expectation? And before you answer that, I'd like to acknowledge what Waleed is saying, thank you. I give credit to that to my mother, who was also a teacher.
How
There we go.
sweet.
Yes.
How sweet. That's
Oh,
so nice.
guess what? And her name, by sheer coincidence, was also Yasmeen.
Oh wow, that's so lovely. Give my regards to your mom, like same name of mine, and tell her that she's done a beautiful job by giving a son like Waleed, who's even helping, and he is continuing the legacy of her mother, his mother. So wonderful job.
She lives within him. And hmm. And
Oh,
Cindy said, why is it dangerous to give with the expectations of getting back? Okay, the same thing, but yes,
yes,
we're in
you
sync.
asked me for, yeah, exactly. See,
Exactly.
I tell you, like when you give and when you genuinely give, it doesn't matter if somebody acknowledged or not acknowledged. And I have seen it, I have experienced it myself actually. When you give, don't even like in Islam, it says give it from one hand, another hand doesn't know. Like it's like that.
Mm.
So if you're giving it to somebody, don't even expect that that person will acknowledge and he will say thank you to you or something like that. Do it only when you feel that this is something, it comes from inside. You can't just pretend, okay, I am giving, so I need this acknowledgement, I need this award, I need a thank you note from them or a bouquet or anything. Not like that. So if you, that is a trading,
Mm.
like in giving there is no trade, there's no trade at all. Giving is by your heart, like whatever you give, don't expect anything, not even a simple thank you. If anybody thank you, thank them back, that they are acknowledging it, they are respecting your feelings, what you are doing it to them actually. So giving and acknowledge, totally different for me, definitely.
True that. So Walid says, I lost her when I was 15.
Oh,
And
I'm
hence
so
I
sorry.
and hence I said she lives within you. Uh,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear it actually completely. I'm so sorry, Waleed. She is with you as my dad and Ruqya's father is with us, that way. So, and inshallah, I'm going to pray for your mom, Yasmeen, that inshallah she is in heaven and may Allah bless her soul.
I mean, um, okay, I think we've created this ripple of feelings here. Dale says, my father passed in 20. 2001, and I always think of the things I wanted to tell him. It's interesting because we go through life taking life for granted, day
Yeah,
after day. It's
we
only
do.
when time has passed we realize that time was limited.
It is. It is. It is. It
And
is very important when your parents are alive, mother, father. We should value them actually. We don't know like when they go, and that's what happened with me. I at that time actually I was so busy with my fashion house that one after another I was doing events and everything, and I feel myself, like a lot of time guilty that I was not available for my father at that time when he was sick, though I've made a promise to him that I'm going to come after a few weeks actually. And then, as you rightly said, that we don't know when they will go. So before my flight, it was 3 weeks before, I think 2 weeks before, Daddy passed away. So I missed the opportunity, to be with him or something. So I always feel whoever is with you, your mother, father, or grandparents, or anything, please value them as much as you can, because this time will never, never, never will come. Seriously.
hmm.
We miss them.
Bias says, yes, sorry to take you there.
I know.
Uh, Payal says it's in the allowance of giving and receiving. You ask and you receive. It's universal law. True. You
Very true.
ask, you receive, and you give, and also you receive, because when you're giving, you're creating. It's kind of like a flow
Yeah.
where you have a flow of energy that you are receiving from the universe, from Allah Ta'ala, from Source, whatever, whoever you believe in, and as you move that energy forward in a giving process, more of it starts coming up
Of
for
course.
you,
Oh,
and then you
yes.
become that vessel that can continue to keep giving.
So true. You don't even know, like if you are in trouble or anything, and when your pure soul is there to help others, you won't believe when you face problems, your problems like it goes away. Seriously. And sometimes you don't even realize like from where I'm getting this blessing or anything, because the biggest thing for anybody when you give something to somebody, and you make a difference in anybody's life, the prayer which comes from their heart and soul, it is the, I can say, it is the river in the your problems that like come through like a flood in your life, and that floods are duas, the prayers which
Hmm.
keep you going, which keep you protected from lots of things. So
True.
whoever is in a position now, in a giving position, I feel they are blessed. They are
True.
with lots of prayers, and the prayer which anybody at the need, they give the prayers. That's the best reward and best acknowledgement if anybody gives
True that. We
yes.
have Priya who's watching from India. She says, "I lost my dad in the month of August. Can totally relate to this topic." And thank you, Priya, for joining us. I know when if you're saying August, so I know it's still fresh. I know you're still hurting, and thank you for having the courage to join us in this conversation today. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um, Walid says, I've seen the power of giving in it, how it comes back to reward you in mysterious ways. Often people turn to help me in extraordinary circumstances when no one seems to help on the horizon. He adds, sorry, it just disappeared. He adds, like the speaker mentioned about not expecting much in return, but keep giving. True that. Vidya says, this session is more of a soul calling than an inspiration. Beautiful conversation.
Oh, thank you, Vidya.
Juhi says, Dale says, never feel guilty uh, to you for
Yeah, I
having.
know what she's saying. Guilty means like sometimes when things are not in your hand, you try to give blame to yourself. Maybe if I was not able, like maybe if I was not taking part in like a comedy circus at that time, not I was busy with this event or that event, I would have been in India or something. So that guilt, it's not the constant guilt which I have, but that's timely where you like you try to blame yourself, like when you lost somebody, then you think, oh my god, why I was busy in this day to day activity or anything, I would have been at that position at that moment, where I can see my father, I can be with my father. So it's that guilt, and it is a very timely thing. But I can say that that was a force for me to do something good. I tell you, because I use my guilt in a very positive way. And Rukia knows that. After the death of my dad, I was so disheartened. I was so depressed. Years, I even closed down my a very famous boutique, which everybody knows, JYK Fashion House, which was doing very good actually, business wise, everything. But I lost all my interest, everything at that time. Okay, and at that time, because it was a calling from Allah, calling from God for me to help others when they need it actually at that time. And that guilt, that particular blame, it came as a fuel for me in my soul, which gives me energy to do something in return to the people who actually needed me. And I'm not going to boost here or anything, but alhamdulillah, God put me into this situation, into this position today, where I was able to make little difference in many lives, and I feel myself fortunate because of that guilt, because of that blame. I was feeling, what can I do something where my dad will love me, he will receive that, like if somebody will give me dua, somebody will give me any prayer, so that prayer I can return back to my dad's soul. And that is how my journey, my I always say that is my second inning, which is started after I lost my dad. And after that particular feeling of blaming, like I was blaming myself, that why I was so much with Bollywood, with parties, with this, that I would have been with my father, so that guilt, that blame, that fire was in me, which gives me a courage to face the world. And then I have started the journey with Dar Al Ber Society, and Allah puts me into a position where I made a difference in many lives. Like I have started one, because I feel it's not only the family's problem, it's the problem of the laborers also, So I have started one initiative which is called Zayed Happiness Caravan. I started 2 years back actually. And I just would like to share that, because he mentioned there's a guilt. So I just want to tell you, like, how you use your guilt into a force, So I've started this initiative called Zayed Happiness Caravan, and I'm not going to give you the complete, like, what it is all about. It's just that we are giving happiness to the laborers. Every second, third day, we are going to the different labor camps, and we are organizing a little surprise party for them, where we give them food and gifts, and we give them little happiness, like smiles in their faces, which we have till in 2 years, we have touched more than 500,000 laborers in UAE, and we have given more than 16 million worth of goods to these people. So so when you have that fire, when you have this thing that you want to give back to society, you want to do something good in the name of your father. And whenever I'm doing anything good, and anybody is giving me any prayer, any laborers or any family who I am helping or anything, I only tell them one thing: please include my dad in your prayer. And whatever, if you feel I have done something for you, please to you pray to your God, Allah Almighty, Vaheguru, anyone that give this blessing to my daddy's soul.
Hmm.
Sorry, it was a little heavy actually.
No, it wasn't heavy. It was very light the way you said it, because we connected when you were running JYK, so I know the person
You
that
have
you
seen
were.
both the sides of mine. You have
I've
seen.
literally seen both the sides, which is why it's so special the way you've changed a leaf. I couldn't understand it at that time, to be very honest, because sometimes you have to go through that pain to really fully get your head around it. Because I've seen you in that world in those days, in that avatar, and then I saw the silent phase also. I mean, I didn't see it, but I know you went through a phase, and then I saw the new Juhi, the Juhi
Yeah,
that was the giver, and
yeah,
and initially I couldn't. But then when I had my loss and I went through that similar journey, is when I realized Okay, so this is what she is doing. And I realize what you're doing is so that you can be a Sadaqa Jariyah for your father.
It is. You said
Really
it so
nice.
right. It is basically a sadka jariya for my father, you know. So I feel whatever I'm doing it for his soul, you know, basically. Because we cannot do anything once he's gone or anybody, loved one, you know. So what you can do through your own deeds, through your own work. It's a way of giving back to them actually when they are not around. And especially I feel this is a duty of every child to pray for their parents, like whoever is not around with them and they have been to another journey, you know, that this is so it's a duty of every child to pray for them, for their soul, for peace. And so this is what we are doing it. And I know how beautiful daughter you are, what you're doing it for uncle. It's commendable, you know, it's really nice.
Thank you. So I didn't have the opportunity to complete the sentence. The minute I said guilty, you started sharing, and that was beautiful because now I will complete what Dale
I'm so
had.
sorry.
No, wait. There's a
Yes,
reason for it. He said, Juhi, never feel guilty. God has plans we don't know about,
of course.
right? So the plans that were laid for you, you didn't know about them at that time, and you
Definitely.
have so beautifully just shared with us so simply and so lightly, actually, because I've spoken to you, I've seen you doing live on Eid morning, on in Ramzan, at the labor camps, at the masajid, being in that space of giving, and you're there on spot, doing things, keeping your own family later, coming from that space of giving, and that's commendable. I haven't seen anybody who does that. So there's a question that's come in, Juhi, and it's a really nice question from Walid. He says, how does one ensure humbleness in the power of giving?
Okay.
Yeah,
What
so
was the question? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
yeah, there was a glitch. How does one ensure humbleness in the power of giving? How do you
Oh,
remain humble when you have that
um,
power of giving?
oh, I think when you give something, it automatically comes humbleness to you if you're doing it genuinely. There
Hmm.
are things actually when you give and when you expect something in return, that is not actual giving. When you
Hmm.
genuinely give something, you are humble. Okay, basically you are humble. That's why you're giving. If the humbleness not is it not in you, how you will feel the pain of the person and how you will do anything, whether you are smiling back or you're doing any deeds to them or any help to them or any guidance, anything. That humbleness keeps you that you help this person or help this organization or help the community or anyone. So
Hmm.
being humble is very important actually. And without humbleness, I don't think you can give genuinely. That's why I'm using this word genuinely because there are a lot of things where it comes with the PR.
Hmm.
I'm sorry if I'm talking a little bit negative here, but it's
No,
very
no, no.
important to emphasize actually because with PR, a lot of things people do show and they do a lot of things in giving when it comes to PR because they are not genuinely doing it, but they are doing it because they have some motive associated with it. So that is not humbleness. That is giving with some purpose. Okay, humbleness come only when you are giving without any purpose. So you humbly you're giving.
Absolutely. And I love what you said earlier. You said when you're giving with something expectation in return, that's not giving, that's trade.
Of course, it is a trade. Definitely, you need something in return.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So there are a few comments that have come in, and there are actually lots of them. We haven't kept up with them. Thank you guys for participating. As I can see, this is a topic which is delicate yet very close to everybody's heart. So thank you for participating. We have Sahir, who's my cousin, who's watching. He says, prayers can change the destiny of anyone. Just trust the Almighty, and things can change in a blink of an eye. I'm not in a situation where many are presently, but I can understand how hard it is to go through such things. So, yes, there are lots of people struggling through COVID, through losses, through so many things, and it is important to show empathy. Vidya says, lost my mother in 1999 and father in 2011. I can't thank you, Rooks and Juhi, enough for such a beautiful session. I'm sure most of us are going to be resurrected by the end of this session. Thank you, Vidya. Sending you
Thank you.
lots of love.
Yeah. Vidya, we love you. I really want to hug you right now. So please accept my hug from far because it's social distance, so I cannot come and hug you. But I feel for you, and we are with you, and we are just a phone call away. And that's what I always say to my friends and anyone. So I know what you're saying, and thank you so much. Thank you for connecting this way with us.
Nishi says, sometimes it may seem that we've given so much and we haven't received back in return when we
Hmm.
need it. However, there is an appointed time when we will receive back multiple times. Probably we aren't ready now or we don't need now. I like that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, which it's nice.
Because sometimes we feel like we're constantly giving and giving and nothing seems to be making a difference
Hmm.
yet we do get it back because that's the law of nature, and it's not necessary that you get it back from the same person that you've done for.
You will never get back in the same. I am telling you, it's like a cycle. You know, you will do it to me, I will do it for other will do it for that. So this is, you will never. I was having this conversation with somebody actually, Rukia, and this is very. It's it. I'm glad that this
Nishi,
lady, right?
Nishi, yes,
Nishi, yeah,
she.
she pointed out, and it's a very valid point actually, and you will never get it from the same person. Hardly, maybe, or sometimes, but most of the time, no. Somebody else will do it. It's a cycle from the nature, from God.
True.
Yeah.
Anita, another dear friend, says giving is passing positive energy. Receiver in returns blessings. Positive
Yeah,
energy gained by the giver. So
yeah.
as you said, the chain reaction.
It is a chain reaction, complete chain reaction. Yes.
Yep. And Dale says you're very strong now, Juhi. I hear it in your heart. Thank
Oh,
you, Dale.
oh, thank you so much.
Hmm. Uh, Sharon also has recently lost her mom, and thank you, Sharon, for tuning in and joining us. She's been joining us on the episodes in the past as well. Thank you. She says, yes, seeing that with Indigo Living, you are doing a great job. So she knows you from the past as well. So she says,
Yeah. Hi
Indigo.
Sharon, good to connect. Yeah, of course I know her. Good to connect here, and lovely to read your message actually. And I would love to connect with you. Please do so. You're on my Facebook, I think, and let's connect also. You're a lovely soul, lovely person, and keep giving us your positive vibes. We need that actually.
True. Nishi has asked a very good question once again. She says, hi, Julie, how can we volunteer in your initiative?
Oh,
So,
definitely. That's a beautiful question. I would love to answer this actually. How would you
yeah.
like to volunteer? First of all, I would like to know that. Would you like to volunteer your time, or would you like to volunteer your skill, or anything which you have within you? So do let me know about that, please. Can you reply that?
Yes, we could. I can ask her to do that.
Yes, please, because this is a very beautiful topic which is very close to my heart, and where I want to guide people about it for volunteering. It's not one thing that you just give your time. There are other ways of doing it which I would like to really talk about.
Brilliant. So I'll just move forward, and in the meantime, Nishi, if you're still
Yeah,
watching,
sure. Yes, definitely. No, I can answer that also actually briefly. If she wants to give only the time for that one, definitely time to time we post in our website in different places also that you volunteer. Unfortunately, due to the COVID situation right now, volunteering is not allowed that way because gathering is not allowed. And uh, this is what I asked, like where she wants to give the time or skills or like what money or anything. Voluntary is a very it's a very vast subject, it's a very vast services actually. But if she is willing to give anything in return, which is maybe if she is a teacher, she can teach children free of cost or anything. If she has little bit of time, she can look after a child who's bedridden at home, and his mother is a working person, and he's a special needs children or anything, like she can help. And if she can give her time for volunteering for any patient, where she can go and look after that patient for a few hours. So what kind of volunteering she would like to do? I would like to know that actually.
And we'll wait for Nishi's answer on
Yes,
that.
please.
Sahar also says the work you have initiated requires a lot of courage and you will, inshallah, be benefited. I'm sure this blessing will be given to your dad's soul. And he's also so blessed to have a daughter like you, alhamdulillah.
Amin, Suma. Amin. Thank you so much for the encouragement and your kind words. It means a lot to me and it means a lot to my father's soul. Thank you so much. Thanks from him.
Sharon sends you love. Nishi says, give my time and skills. So Nishi is a life coach,
She's a life
and
coach.
he's a life coach.
And she's
Yes,
based in.
she's based in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
And in fact, she was my guest speaker last week, and she
Oh,
was
that.
the one with who I went running to saying, "Hey Nishi, the dates that are coming up are like this and they're turbulent." And it's by talking with her when I said, "Okay, let's actually finalize and do this."
Okay.
So all right, we've got some more comments coming in. So
Okay.
Willie says, and I'm assuming this is Wilson. So thank you, Wilson. He's staying up until 1. We started at 1 a.m. for him in Singapore, and he's
Oh,
up with us. He says, huge respect to you, Yasmeen, and I have huge respect for you, Wilson, for staying up and watching us so late in the night. Nishi says, your dad is peaceful and liberated soul. Your guilt will not be received well by a soul. Let go of the guilt is the biggest gift to him.
yes. Thank you so much for your advice. Definitely. I left that guilt actually a long back.
Yep,
And there is no guilt left now. I was talking about when it happened 7 years back.
yep.
I lost my dad 7 years back, and it at that time I was feeling guilty, but now not no more actually, no. So thank you so much for your advice. I will keep in my mind, and I'll try to be as cheerful as I can. Thank you.
Yes, and that piece of advice could work for anybody now, anybody going through that pain now. So thank you, Nishi, for sharing that. Sar says, so rightfully said, it's the duty of every child to pray for their parents, no matter they are with us or they are in Jannah.
Exactly.
I feel how to ensure we are humble is we should thank the person who is accepting our deed because he has given us the chance to earn sawab. Instead,
Oh,
we shouldn't be proud of that we have done this deed.
very
Yes.
rightly said. Very rightly said. Because it's basically, first of all, it's the person who gave you opportunity, and it's the Almighty who gives you opportunity to serve that person and be there in their need and give that actually. So it's a beautiful point which she said, and I completely agree with her. And this is what I always feel, that whoever is in a giving is blessed, blessed by Almighty, and blessed by that person who is reach out to you to do something to make some difference in their life. So you should thank to that person, that that person has given you the opportunity to serve them actually.
Hmm. So we have Dixon watching all the way from Nigeria. He says, RK, nice presentation, an awesome gift with a beautiful heart. However, giving is a healing of the mind, heart, and soul. Giving must also be peace, love, care, and honorable. Giving can heal the world. Thank you, Dixon, for sharing that. Absolutely powerful.
Absolutely lovely.
Yeah. Juhi, great noble work you do without any intention of receiving. May Allah give you more strength and more hands of givers.
I mean, thank you so much. These prayers means a lot to me and for my dad's soul. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So tell us, and I like what Anita says about more hands of givers. So you spoke about how people can contribute. What are some other initiatives that maybe organizations can support you on? Because I know we're airing this on LinkedIn. There may be people, decision makers who might later watch. So please tell
Right.
me how further can people support the work that you do?
Oh yes, definitely. We need. I always feel if somebody gives their time, somebody gives their volunteering work, or somebody gives their monetary help, which is even 1 dirham, it makes a lot of difference. Since especially I'm a charity initiative expert at Dar Al Ber Society, where I create initiative all the time to generate funds also, where we can reach out to many people. In Dar Al Ber Society, we have a system where anybody is suffering and they are on a valid visa of UAE, resident visa, they can apply for help actually from the organization. And like Dar Al Ber Society, there are lots of other organizations. So if anybody calls me and if the criteria doesn't fit in the Dar Al Ber's criteria, because our office is not in Abu Dhabi and in Sharjah. So if
Yeah.
anybody comes from Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, then I redirect them to Red Crescent Society or other organization where I'm not directly working with them, but I guide them, because as we were talking about, that guidance is also a part of your giving, that you're giving knowledge to them. So let's coming back to the same thing, that if somebody, you know that somebody is suffering and they need immediate help, they can go to Dar Al Ber Society's website, which is www.daralbersociety.com, where they will see help. There's a column for help, and they registered themselves uh, online on website. And what they need to do is that they need a covering letter where they are going to share their problem, whether the problem is for they lost a job, they are financially very weak, they don't have any means to earn or anything, their children are not able to go to the schools because of the funds, or if they have anybody who's medically ill and they are not able to fulfill the requirements of the bills of the hospitals or anything. So these are the things actually, or anybody who lost his job or anything, they have no bank account shows that they are like they have no funds anything, they can apply for house rents also. So this is basically house rent, schooling and medications and food requirements also. So they can go to the Dar Al Ber Society's website and they can log into the problems and they can open the file. So opening the file is little tricky because like in the RLB Society we have lots of traffic in the sense, last year I think we have helped more than, I think, 20,000 families or something. So you can imagine, like, and in the pandemic I think we have received more than 22,000 applications so far. So it is not that every application is going to fulfill or anything. We have researchers who research actually in each case basis, where they see the genuinity of the cases, they see the uh, uh, visa status, then they see the bank account, then they see like what is a problem, it's genuine or not, and then they give the fund to the concerned authorities, whether it is a rent committee or whether it is a hospital or anything. They don't give the person the money, they give it to the problem for the schools or anything like that. So anybody who's looking for to get any help like that, they can go to the website of Dar Al Ber Society and other charity organization, where a lot of people, they don't know actually, how they get help. There are lots of ways in UAE to get helps, especially from the registered charity organization. So these are the ways, and
You said,
then yeah, please go ahead.
sorry, you said house rent, schooling, medication. What was the other one?
It's the food,
Food. Sorry, I missed that.
roti, kapda, or makan.
Ah, perfect. Easier to remember.
Yes.
Yes, done. You were saying something. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's all right. So I'm saying, like, there are a lot of ways actually even to help also. And then let's come back to, like, if you have the people who are fortunate enough, who are in a position to give back. For them, we have different initiatives. They can be in touch with us where they can play a role of a donor, a supporter, where they can support by giving us a monetary funds to particular area, where they can say that we want to give this money to the cancer patient or the dialysis patient or anybody who lost their eyesight or anything, to that for the medical problems. Okay. Secondly, they can pick and choose if they want to give it to the education of the children or school fees or their school bags or anything like that. Okay. And then thirdly, if they want to give the house rent for needy people, if somebody is, and then the air tickets for the abundant people, they want to go back to their countries but they don't have funds, so they stuck up or anything. So you have lots of ways of helping, where they can, even if you go to the Dar Al Ber Society's website, you will see lots of initiatives, lots of things. Even this is, I'm talking about UAE. If somebody is outside and they want to even contribute to the other projects, we dig wells, we make hospitals, we do a lot of things outside the country. So they can even do their contributions over there. So it is both. And thankfully, I'm working with both. I am working with the givers and takers, both. So I know everything, like how we can connect these two. And so I feel myself that I am a small medium where I connect givers and takers both together.
So again, you say this so lightly, but I have seen the kind of effort you put into this, and Allah barik fi and jazakallah khair, because that's so important what you do. Dale lives all the way in Ohio and in US, and he says that I am retired and live alone, so I have time to listen. So and prior to us starting speaking, he was saying my ear is always around. So I think he wants to contribute by being a listener or by contributing. So Dale, what I can do over here is share the website, and you can connect with them directly and see how you fit in the giving process.
Yes,
Uh,
sure.
and Anita says it's great work considering the expat problems. Many lose hope and lives also. Lots of many things are important to take care of. So yes, I do agree. Thank you, Anita. And my dear Sahir says, I should not, okay, I find this a little odd to read this comment, but thank you, Baba. I should not forget to thank Ruqya Khan for creating a platform where genuine people can step in and share their thoughts with us. She's absolutely lending her support to say out our feelings and expressions. Many people just use a mirror to convey their inner thoughts, but this is a great platform for people who care. So thank you.
I completely agree what he is written. It's completely true. This is a good platform which you have made it actually, and you're making so much of difference in people's life actually, with connecting the right medium to right people, especially the kind of comments I can read. It's you're making a lot of difference actually. And thank you so much, Rukaya, that you're doing this. And you are like, I can't do what you're doing it. I think you have done more than 700 videos or something every day.
891.
Imagine, imagine.
You
My
know,
God,
I
it
know,
is
right?
time and energy and everything. Hats off to you.
Thank you. You know, Juhi, on some days when I'm doing the live, I do consider that maybe I am, being repetitive in my message. I do
Mhm.
consider that because I feel some of my quotes, they're all my quotes. They're not quotes that
It's
I've
very
taken.
good.
Thank you. So, but when I think of the fact that maybe I'm being repetitive, I realize that those are things that are more closer to my heart. And they,
Yes,
with Facebook memories, sometimes some of my quotes from 10 years ago show up, and I realize, hey, I'm constantly thinking and saying the same stuff. I've been in alignment with my thoughts and my value system, which is so important. I think, and that's something that we have to give to our kids
of
to
course.
understand that who they are as individuals, because it's only when the foundation is powerful as
Exactly.
our job as parents and their job as children. It's
Oh,
it's
yes.
only that they take forward that legacy,
Yes.
inshallah.
Definitely, definitely. That this is the second thing where I want to talk about it. Is that we are fortunate enough as a giver, and it is our duty to give that fuel in our children. You know,
Yeah.
if we will not do that, then I think our journey will not complete, because this is our next generation which should be there. And I feel myself very fortunate actually, you know, that way, that my son, he's 18, and now what he is doing it, he is like, I would like to mention it here, he has chosen his subject as environment sciences because he want to make a lot of difference for environment. He is the one who encouraged me not to eat anything which kills animal.
Hmm.
Being a Muslim, it's so difficult actually because I'm a meat lover,
Mhm.
basically. But he has such a soft and sweet heart, my son. You know, he taught me and my husband to value the animals and to not consume that so much. so that even environment will have the, like gases which is not good for the environment. So I'm so blessed that I have such a humble heart son. I think it is a blessing from Almighty Allah that like I have seen in my father and now I'm seeing in my son. So it's like giving back from God to me, that I have a son who is so beautiful soul, that he's now like he's thinking to give back to the society at the age of 18, which is really good. So we should teach our children as a mother, as because we are doing it as daughters, what we are doing it for our fathers is very important, but as a mother it's our duty to give back that same fuel, that same energy, everything to our children, so that they can keep continue this chain forever.
My enterprise is called Smiletastic. It's a name that my daughter gave it. So it was some, I know, right? So that's what I've gotten. And I always say my children are very interesting characters, because one is my cheerleader and the other is my mirror,
How
because the questions Abrez would ask me, Abdullah would ask me, are so like, they shake me out sometimes. They shake me out of my excuses. And with my daughter, she's so allowing and gracious that she goes, okay, Ma, if this is what you're feeling. She allows me that space to be. Of course, my son does as well. But both know how to tackle me in with my own words. They really
how,
tackle me. I'd really say that. So
how
yes,
you're
and
blessed, you're blessed to have children like that.
yes, I am definitely blessed, and
And
family.
it's your
Exactly.
teaching, definitely.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So they do what they see us doing, and it's so important to have that bond with the children as they grow up. Sometimes I see parents with pre-teens to children who are so busy with their work that they've lost that connection. Children come back from school and go into their rooms, shut the doors, and there's no connection. So somewhere I feel this COVID has helped bring families under one roof, and they have no place to go. So that's the time when you really could connect with family from a space of graciousness, from kindness, and just being just open to give time and attention and energy.
You are rightly saying it. That it's this, actually, I always feel this is a blessing in disguise. COVID has taught us a lot of things. First of all, don't mess with the universe.
Absolutely.
First of all, seriously, because being human, we have messed a lot. Like we all feel guilty in that, because somewhere or the other we are a part of a chain, and we handled our universe, our world very badly. Human, so, and as you're rightly saying that the COVID gave all of us a chance to be together with our family, with our loved ones. Like we have spent so much so quality time, that which we would have not thought about it yet before, that we will be living together this way, like 24/7. We are eating together, we are cooking, we are cleaning, we are doing everything ourselves, which gave us a very beautiful chance to know each other. So it's a blessing in disguise that way, definitely.
Absolutely. Okay, what was I going to ask you? Actually, let me read the comments and then I'll
Yes.
come to the little thought that I had. Anita says, "Hats off to Rooks. Rooks touching many lives. Thank you." Aditya says, "It's good to know you have conducted 891 videos. It would be crossing 1,000 soon. I am aiming to touch 1,000 and probably stop it, but it's interesting. Every time I think of stopping it, every 100th episode I thought I will stop, but when I announce that I will be stopping it, I get this some comment or some email private message. Somebody says, please don't, you're helping me. And
Let's connect when you will be touching your 1,000.
yeah,
Let's touch 1,000 souls at that day.
hmm, let's aim for that. I'm
Aim.
looking for somebody who I can feature in my 1,000th episode. I've been looking for a few people, but I don't know, I haven't got that positive response yet. Let's see, there's still another 110 days to go. Let's see. So what was, and initially when I started this out, I was not really camera friendly, or I didn't know essentially how to do lives, etc. It was by fluke. And as I said, I wanted myself to be in that space where I wash my face in the afternoon and face the world, quite literally, because I was struggling with even getting out of bed until evening time. So I was like, okay, how can I push myself? And so this is what I came up with. And some days it would be difficult for me. I'd be in a very bad emotional state, I'd break down. But what kept me going was some messages from people I didn't really know, and they would message and say, your live every day is my time to connect with my son. And
Hmm.
son reminds me. So I thought, little boy must be 8, 9, and he said, no, my teenage son, 15.
Oh,
We were drifting apart, but now he enjoys it so much that we sit together and we watch.
wow.
Wow.
A
There was,
beautiful thing you're doing.
thank you. There was a couple from Pakistan. He messaged me saying, asking me, "Are you married?" And the alarm bells go out when somebody messages you asking, "Are you married?" I said, but being somebody who's giving messages and on relationships, etc., I said, okay, let's look at this as a coach. And so I did. And what he told me was, I am married for so many years, and my wife is suffering from terminal cancer, and a lot of our time is spent going back and forth at the hospital, but we sit and watch your videos daily and close our day on that so that we have some positivity to share before we sleep.
How sweet.
So those kind of messages just keep you going, I guess. And I'm sure it's pretty much
Hats
the
off.
same for the work you do. Um, you
Salute
know,
to you.
salute to you, my dear, because that's exactly the work you're doing. You're changing lives one person at a time, one
Trying,
contribution
trying,
at a time.
just trying. I'm just doing my duty from Almighty.
Absolutely. So Sahir has one more comment to make. He says, to 20,000 families. We live in such a world where people have an evil eye. And in this world, you have chosen such a pious work. Allah so correctly mentioned, you never know how and from where will I arrange food, shelter, clothing. If we could only trust Allah's plan, subhanAllah. Jail says, you're very welcome. The universe always talks back. You are family now, Nikaya. Thank you.
How sweet.
So Juhi, we've covered our role as daughters, our roles as mothers, as humans, as the person that we are. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the listeners as a closing comment?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I would like to say everybody. First of all, we are human first. Okay. Daughter and mother or other roles comes later.
Yeah,
First of all, we are human. So let's connect with human. Let's have that pain in our heart that anybody next door to me or anyone, they need me. If as your beautiful thing for smile is going on, if we just smile back to somebody,
that's
that is
also
more than it, at one time, and be there in the need of anybody. You don't know, like, I think I can say this now because I think almost every day I receive numbers of calls. Like, I don't mind sharing my personal number, and a lot of people they have actually. And they said, and when they tell me this thing that, ma'am, we are trying to connect with certain organization but we are not, and we are fortunate that we are talking to you, and then I guide them. So I think you should be approachable. You should not be touch me not sort of a person. Like, this is what I feel, and this is a message which I want to give it to the people who are listening and the people who want to connect. Is, if God is giving you that position, that you are in a position of giver, don't be touch me not sort of a personality. That nobody can talk to you, nobody can write you back, nobody can reply you or anything, ask you anything. Please be available. Be available. That's the first and foremost thing in giving. Was that?
I said people go on their high horse. You have to
Oh,
be
yes,
humble.
definitely. I don't like, actually, I don't like that. Seriously, if anybody writes me at 12 o'clock in the night and if I'm awake, I will reply them back immediately. If anybody calls me and if I'm having my lunch or anything, I will take their call. If I'm in a meeting and my phone is on silent, that is a different scenario. But whenever the phone is with me and I'm available, I'm like to listen to them. I like to give them the guidance, advice, or whatever. Or if possible, I would like to take their case and then refer it to Dar Al Ber or to anybody who where I can do or where I can do something in my own capacity. I do that, you know. So for giving, and this is my closing thing for everybody: be available, be
Wow.
approachable. If you are not approachable, if you are not available, how you will give? How you will give? So anybody who would like to connect with me or anything, I'm available in Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, anything you can connect with me. And my best way to connect is Madam Ruqya.
Bishak.
So
Absolutely.
everybody, whoever is listening and everyone, I just want to give this message. Please be available for people
Hmm.
to give back to the society.
True. So we have also Josephine watching us. She says, being responsive is a great value. Thank you.
It is.
So yes, be human. So thank you everybody for tuning in. As Anita so beautifully kind of put it in a single sentence, she says, "Thank you, Rooks and Juhi. Your session today has given abundance of thinking to live as a giver." So it's no
Oh,
longer about the abundance of giving, but it's about just living as a giver.
it is. It is. Rightly.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Kiran, for joining us. Both my desires on same platform. Thank you very much for joining us, and for everybody who's tuned in. I value your time. I value your engagement. I value you giving us time for today. And thank you, Juhi, once
It's
again for
my
honoring my invite.
total my pleasure and honor to be with you today, especially on the day which is so close to your heart. It's my
Yes,
pleasure. It's
thank you.
my pleasure, and thank you so much for everybody who's connecting with us through the messages, through just listening to us. Thank you so much. May
Thank
God bless, may Almighty bless each one of you and your life and your families and your loved ones, everyone's life with abundance. Thank you so much.
Amen. And if there is somebody who you think should receive this message, please tag them or please share this video on your page, on your profiles, so that more and more people understand what it is about giving. That is the way you can give further
Definitely.
this conversation. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so much and good night. Thank you.